in conference play. They know you, you know them. There's always a little trickle of bad blood here and there, particularly when both teams are ranked as these two are in this one. Welcome to the home of the Florida State Seminoles, Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee. As we'll see the number 19 team in the country, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, taking on one of the top 5 teams in the conference, the Florida State Seminoles. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up. The Noles will kick it away to start us off. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. The short hands, it's Powell. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
Again, this is a running back that can hurt you. Running it between the tackles, and he's dangerous out in space. They like to throw it to him out on the perimeter as he picks up a couple yards there.
You can barely hear yourself thinking here as they're trying to get this defense off to a good start. Looking for a man. It's Grimes. Snagged in the middle. It's Babers. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup.
And quarterback receiver on the same page. Nice job seeing the zone, understanding the drag route concept. Easy pitch, easy catch.
They'll try to get it through the air. With the catch, it's Jackson. They'll mark him out of bounds at about the 29-yard line.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
The Yellow Jackets getting set on 1st and 10. Wants to throw again. Now he's going to glide away from pressure. QB got it himself. Into enemy territory and out of bounds at the 48.
He can throw it, he can buy time, he can run it. What can't he do? This guy's so talented. When he does stuff like this, there's no way to stop it. There's no way to coach a defense up against this. He's just really fast, and I can't catch him.
And the Yellow Jackets are moving quickly down the field. To the air on 1st down. Moves around to clear up the vision. They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming.
Well, it's no wonder this quarterback is getting more and more confident. Not necessarily throwing it, but I think running it. We saw that earlier in this drive, too. On that last play, he's thinking to himself, man, it's been working for me so far. Every time I just tuck it, take off scrambling, something good seems to happen. So that's not going to stop. And I think moving forward, this defense has got to expect him to scramble more often.
Good, solid pickup there. Now they can start to smell it with a 1st down at the 31.
You want to settle everybody in on the road? You want to take the nerves away? Run the football. Really, really good job. The offensive line, they're physical and nasty. They're not nervous. They're not worried about this crowd getting loud. They just want to hit you right in the mouth, and they started the game off with some good physicality.
Going to try turning it on. Shoved out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 15-yard line, and this offense is doing work.
Sometimes these guys just have eyes in the back of their head. You saw it right there. He was able to buy himself time, get outside the pocket, and at that point, I think the decision was pretty easy. Hey, I can go get this with my feet. He was able to do that. Now they got a fresh set of downs.
Using the quick game. He's guided out of bounds at the 12-yard line.
Well, the defense playing zone coverage there. They're taking away all of the QB's primary options down the field, so he has to check it down to the drag running underneath.
going to work in the red zone. They can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Quick pass on the fly motion. And he runs into a wall. Maybe got it back to the line of scrimmage.
I like offenses being creative. I'm not sure if that was the best place to call that play. I think this offense needs to think about just doing things a little bit more by the book. They've got a lot of good playmakers. You don't have to reinvent the wheel this early in the game.
Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. On the ground, it's Jackson. They'll get him stopped just short of the end zone, but they're in business here with a first down.
You know, this is a running back who wants the ball, and he wants the offense to run through him. Really nice job there on the third down of this opening drive for his offense. I can't wait to see what kind of game this guy's.
Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets!
I don't know how many people expected this to happen, playing on the road in this environment against a better opponent, but they showed tremendous poise on the opening drive. Nice execution. They scored a touchdown. That was big time.
Getting ready for the extra point after the first score of the game. And the extra point makes it 7-0. They put together an 81-yard drive and finished the deal with the short touchdown run from the 2. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. They'll try the run. Slithers into space. And he's able to shed one tackle and gets a pretty good pickup.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on first down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
The Seminoles can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. He wants to change this route. To the air. It's Applewhite. And it's incomplete, but the penalty flag has fallen in the holding zone. Let's see what the call is. Just an obvious holding call there, and one that just kills an offense's momentum. They'll line up for a second down play. Wants to go up top. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
Man, it's easy to play defense when you can do this. When you can get to the quarterback quick and make him make a decision quick, it makes it easier for the secondary, for the linebackers, for everybody on the field.
Bringing the heat. Caught in the backfield. It's Davis. And that one looked great on the grease board, but when they blow it up like that, the defense is going to win every time. The Seminoles will punt this one away. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. Sends his first one of the day on the way, and we didn't see much of him in that victory last week, just called on one time. Excellent coverage that time, didn't give him any room to set up a big return. So the first play of the drive will come from the 43. Here comes the option. Now the pitch. Nice move to keep running.
This offense is perfectly fine with a little game because they're going to make you tackle this all game long. They're going to make you think all game long. So they'll keep running it ad nauseum and just wait for that one opportunity when you don't do your assignment.
Back to pass, it's Grimes. And the timing just a hair off.
But how loud is it in this building? This is crazy. These fans are going absolutely nuts. And I used to love when the fans got involved when I'm on defense because it messes with the snap count, it messes with the communication, and it can really rattle an offense.
A cacophony of noise, debilitating surround sound, the war chant on third down at the dope. Fires to the tight end. Now they're starting to feel it. They've got a first down at the 44.
And it's on third downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to hook up there.
Looking to throw on first down. Trying to escape and get it himself. Making a little bit of progress there. He gets it to the 40 before getting out of bounds.
And because of the success that this quarterback has had early in this game running the football, if I'm the coordinator calling plays, I'm dialing up his number more. Design runs, and also telling him in the sidelines, hey, listen, remember, if it's not open, take off. Just go get it yourself. They don't have an answer for you.
There he goes. He's finally stopped, but not before he takes it into the red zone. They'll mark it at the 18.
Well, when you're running the drag route against man coverage like that, as a quarterback, you got to put the ball out in front of your target. When you do that, you give the guy a chance to then advance the football up the field, pick up a first down like they did right there.
The Yellow Jackets are flying down the field. They've marched to the red zone, and here they go. Caught over the middle. It's Key. He stopped just a chain link or two away from the first down and sets them up beautifully here. That's the end of the period, and Georgia Tech has the lead. We've played one. Before we move on, let's have a look at the stats. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game in the second quarter. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. To the air, it's Grimes. Well, the quarterback can make a big play when he starts moving around. Makes the catch. So close to that end zone, he can almost taste it, but it'll be first and goal for this offense. Defense is backed up. Shadow of the goalpost trying to defend their own end zone. Slams it ahead. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Georgia Tech.
And the running back gets his second rushing touchdown of the game. You want to continue to feed this guy. You can tell he's got a nose for the end zone, knows how to get in there, knows how to make things happen.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point makes it 14-0. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, wanted to give you a quick update on a game happening in the American. Memphis is in front. They've controlled the line of scrimmage to this point. But you take a look at the scoreboard and you see we have ourselves a tight game. They're up by 7 over Charlotte. We'll circle back. If anything big happens in this clash in the American, you should know about.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Guys, here comes that Florida State offense back onto the field. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game. So, Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
Quarterback stands alone, all wide receivers. To the air, it's Applewhite. Completes it in the middle. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
When these wide receivers work the middle of the field, so much of this is feel. Understanding where the holes are in the zone or understanding how to get leverage on a man. And these wide receivers are dangerous nowadays because they do it so fast and see that so quick and make those plays over the middle.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Looking for a deep man. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
Well, on defense, they know that this offense is going to try and take shots. They're going to try and keep their secondary players in a position to make these types of plays. Good job on the back end forcing that incompletion.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. That pass is well off target. He got hit as he was trying to throw, and they can't convert on 3rd down.
QBs and receivers on 3rd down, everything has to happen just a split second sooner. You're expecting pressure. The quarterback gets hit, just not on the same page with his target.
Cradles it at the 35. He was hoping for a little more running room, but they're able to get him down at the 45. The Rambling Wreck offense rolls back onto the field. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute, David.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
And this quarterback wasn't thinking about taking off and running with that one. He was outside the pocket, but he kept his eyes down the field. He kept reading the coverage. He was surveying to find an open target. Accurate throw, and they get the 1st down.
Pulls it in. It's Jackson. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short gain there.
Well, it's important in this game this offense gets the running back involved out in the perimeter in space where he can do some damage. That time they got it to him throwing the football. He picked up a couple of yards, but it gives the defense something to think about.
What a nice job by the defense to string it out, not give him any kind of alley, and knock him down for a loss.
Not much running room. He had to break a tackle and still break another tackle to try to get back to the line of scrimmage. Not good blocking on the play.
But that's what coaches always emphasize, too. Never assume a teammate's going to make the tackle. You run to the ball, and they did it there.
100%, especially guys that are so big and strong and elusive nowadays. They're going to break tackles. Keep swarming, keep hitting them. Next guy, don't assume the tackle is going to be made.
Got his man. He's going to come up a couple of yards short in the 1st down.
Hey, really nice job on defense, too. Understanding the situation. It's 3rd down. We're fine giving up completions right there. We're not giving up the 1st down. We're keeping the football and the ball carrier in front of us, and we're tackling the catch. Awesome job, and now you've set up 4th down.
On 4th down, they'll try to throw it. Trying to make magic with his feet. Desperately wanted to convert on 4th down, but couldn't do it.
Love the coverage on defense there. 4th down. They were ready for the pass. You saw in the back end, great job being in position to make that play. And now their offense is coming on the field.
Looking for a gap. It's Davidson. Got the 1st down and more. Just what they needed, an explosive play in the running game, and they're out to the 49-yard line before he goes out of bounds.
When you talk about creating big plays in the running game like this makes the game really easy. Actually, when you got a guy like this that you can hand it to with this much speed and elusiveness, just hard to bring down in the open field, what a big gain for the offense.
This 1st half of offense won't go on the highlight reel so far, but starting to get things moving, it's 1st and 10. And the big fella couldn't elude the cornerback who makes a sure tackle.
Nice quick throw there. It's so important for quarterbacks to be able to find a rhythm and to be comfortable and confident. You want to just get the ball out quickly, make it an accurate and easy throw. And you can tell that these two guys, they rep that play in practice all the time, and it's now showing up here on game.
And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Dropping back, it's Applewhite. Gets it out quickly. Breaks into the open. Just what they hoped for on third down as they've got a first at the 32. Third and short, and I guess the only thing they really took out of play in the shotgun was the quarterback sneak.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I like to do, Reese. I mean, 3rd and inches, I want to run the quarterback sneak, run the football, but this team fully comfortable throwing the football, and you see why. Easy pitch, easy catch, first down.
Wants to throw on first down. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window if the intended target was not open. And that's why that one fell incomplete.
The inside handoff. Got enough for the first, and he's still going. And he's brought down after a nice gain. Seminoles have always been known for explosive, flashy, big plays, but think of guys like Dalvin Cook and the toughness that he ran with. That's on display here.
And then those guys that I think of, too, with work done, where you hand them the football and big plays can happen, and offenses have been built around that for years at Florida State, finding that guy to hand the ball to.
You know, defensively, you live by the blitz and you die by the blitz. That time, they dialed it up into the run play, and the linebacker able to make a nice tackle.
Not many hiccups on this drive, but it's 2nd and 13 now. Looking to fire. Got it in the middle, it's McCoy. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line.
And a really nice job by the wide receiver. You run a drag route, find space. They're in zone coverage. They're not covering man-to-man. Find a little hole. Look at that QB. Y'all get on the same page. You could tell they were, and that's why they got the first down.
The Seminoles come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. Quarterback may change this route. Looking to pass. It's Applewhite. Intercepted for the 11th time this season. He stopped at the 19-yard line. A big play there to get the pick and take it back inside the 20.
Well, coming into this game, this offense knew that points were going to be at a premium. If you can't score touchdowns down here in the red zone, you at least got to come away with field goals, but you can't do that if you're throwing interceptions. That's just poor execution by the offense.
Motion from the back. They're going to open this drive with a pass. He'll pull it down and run. He navigates some traffic, steps out of bounds at the 27 as this offense tries to get something going.
And man, does he keep you honest. Just a guy that can run the football, that can make plays with his legs. You've seen it throughout the day. Listen, this wasn't a big play, but it can be death by 1,000 cuts. He just continues to scramble, make plays, make you defend his feet for a whole game.
At the 40, there he goes. That defense got gashed, but they finally get him to the turf at the 47.
And you're seeing here the difficulties defenses have trying to contain this guy. If you leave a lane open or you don't sack him right away, you allow him to get outside the pocket, he is going to take off, and he is very difficult to tackle in the open field. He's got running back-like ability out in space.
They'll leave him with the lone back. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
They're trying to run the football, and there's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. to pass. Steps away to find some room. Quarterback's got the first. How about this sophomore learning when to just do it himself?
Man, that's so frustrating. And it happens so fast. He just pulls it down. It looks like pass. He pulls it down, and he's gone. Just like that, chewing up yards. So much speed, so hard to stop.
And the Yellow Jackets will line it up on 1st and 10. Finds his man. It's Wilson. He'll go out of bounds right at the 23-yard line.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver, and you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
Looking for a man. It's Grimes. It's complete on the right side. He goes out of bounds, but there is a flag on the field. Let's see what this one's about. So they'll decline the penalty, pleased with the results of that last play. The offense will gladly take a fresh set of downs after the penalty. Pulls it and fires to the left. That throw and catch gets them down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers. Going to work on 2nd down, and the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that 1st down. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. 3rd down coming.
Well, they were trying to sneak him out of the backfield that time into the passing game, but that did not fool anybody on defense. What a hit, forcing that incompletion.
Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big 3rd down in the red zone. He close to that 1st down, maybe just a couple of inches short. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play call and everyone on the same page here. This crowd busting the decimal meter and trying to will a 4th down stop. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets! They've extended the lead and taken control here in Week 9.
Well, this offense is clicking. They've been doing it all first half, running the ball, throwing the ball. They had insult to injury with another touchdown here right before teams go into the tunnel. This defense, guys, they have got to find some answers, and they've got to regroup here at halftime.
And the extra point is true, and the lead balloons to 21. This is ultra-aggressive. Still in the first half, got the lead and going for the onside kick. Quick timeout from the offense to save precious seconds. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Inside 30 seconds to play in the half. We'll see how aggressive they are on this drive. Back to pass. It's Applewhite. Going for the big play. Grabs it at the 25 in stride. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Now from inside the red zone. Falls incomplete, and he did everything perfectly except catch the football. 2nd down coming.
And this defense, we know, they present a lot of challenges. And you can see it right there, man. They shrink windows fast. They're a top 25 defense for a reason. You really better make sure you're dialed in today, or else they can make you pay in a hurry.
It falls incomplete. He was trying to find his man for 6.
Well, nice job by the defense here in back-to-back plays. 2 straight incompletions. You've given up some yards, and the opponent's in field goal range. This is a place a lot of D coordinators like to send the blitz, because if you sack the quarterback and create a negative play, you knock them out of field goal range.
Hits the uprights. It's good. And they'll trot off to the locker room after the field goal to close the half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update. The Yellow Jackets will kick it away first, and we'll start the second half. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Comes the Florida State offense onto the field. When you're facing a deficit like this one to start the second half, you really can't afford to waste a single possession.
Fresh start here in the second half. That's the only way you can look at this if you're on offense. Things did not go your way there in the first half. It starts with one play. To get our confidence going, we just got to get something going early here on this drive.
One play, stay aggressive. Now I think I can be even more aggressive on fourth downs because obviously I've built a deficit. My defense has got to make some plays for me too.
The offense changing the play. Dropping back, it's Applewhite. He's picked off, and he's thrown a dozen of them. He'll try to take it back. Touchdown, Georgia Tech! And what a turn of events as this defense gets to pick six.
How about a game-changing play for this defense? Stepping in front of the football and knowing what to do with it, taking it all the way to the end zone.
Getting set for the point after. And the extra point gives them a 28-3 lead. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Guys, your game is a big one, but so is this battle right now inside the American. Memphis is putting on an offensive clinic. They've built a big lead, and this one is approaching blowout territory. They're up by 17 over Charlotte. Ought to be fun, fellas, to see how things play out in this notable matchup in the American.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. The Seminoles have it back. They'll try to get that offensive spear flaming. Unless you have somebody ready to do his best Tom Brady impression, down 28-3 is no fun, and they have to get something going right now.
And you didn't have a lot of panic in the first half, but, man, you're starting to get now in the second half, and this offense just has really, really struggled, underperformed. You know you're a better team, but this offense hasn't shown it. This team hasn't shown it. It's the third quarter. They got.
Oh, he's got some space. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
And listen, I know that wasn't a huge gain. It was positive, but I like doing more of that in today's college football. I'm just going to try to give my playmakers a chance to do damage in space away from all the big boys inside.
On third and long, try to convert through the air. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Well, another incompletion, and you can see the frustration building, but you got to give the defense credit. They came into this one knowing no one was giving them a shot because of their record, because of what their stats are on paper, but they're playing better football. They're playing with better effort, and right now they're making the most plays.
The Georgia Tech offense rolls back onto the field. There wasn't much need to throw it around on that last drive for the touchdown, Jesse. They got it done running the ball.
And, David, I don't think you have to overthink this thing. If they can't stop you running it, why would you stop handing it off? Just keep at it here on this drive.
Well, and if I'm the defense, I'm making some changes. I'm bringing in more big bodies. I'm playing more aggressive towards the line of scrimmage. I am not going to let them have that kind of drive again.
Grabbed over the middle. It's Wilson.
A nice job by the QB there, timing out that drag throw. It's zone coverage, so he's got to make sure he gets it to his receiver in a window to allow him to catch the ball and then turn it upfield.
Finds a little space. Finally brought down at the 31. It's a pickup of 15 yards on the play, and they've got a first down.
Defense is going to have their hands full trying to get this guy in the ground, man. He's got some serious moves once he has the ball in his hands.
And the Yellow Jackets come to the line with a fresh set of downs. right back to the well. Noses ahead to the 30-yard line, a pickup of 1.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. A lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
I love the decision by the quarterback. He found the open man, just don't love the throw. Got to be a little bit more accurate, make it easier on your target.
3rd and long from the 30-yard line in this defense, hoping to knock them out of field goal range. Looking downfield, it's Grimes. Makes the grab, it's Jackson. And they'll stop him about 5 yards short of the first.
Good play call on defense. 3rd down in that situation, you're just playing a big zone. You want everybody having their eyes on the quarterback, playing in their areas, and you want them rallying to the football. As soon as that running back caught the ball, they all came screaming in. They were able to make the tackle and now set up 4th.
On 4th down, he'll try to toss it. On the run, fires downfield. Can't hook up on the long throw, and 4th down goes by the boards for this offense.
That is a great job by this defense, coming up big on 4th down when it matters the most. You could tell they were dialed in. They knew they were going to throw the football. The defense was locked in on the quarterback. Great job defending the pass, forcing the incompletion on 4th down.
Takes a hit as he fires. Incomplete thanks to the great defensive pressure there that sort of threw them out of rhythm.
You can sense the frustration building on the field and on the sideline for this team because on paper, they're the better team. From a player standpoint, from a record standpoint, things just not going their way in this game, and someone's going to have to step up and make a play to turn this thing around.
Pulls it in. It's McCoy. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the 1st down.
Well, this offense knew coming into this game they wanted to try to attack the middle of the field in the passing game, and they're able to execute the in route there.
Might be changing the route. Third down play from the gun. Got him in. It's McCoy. Doesn't quite make it to the 1st down marker. He's a yard short.
One of the things I love about this defense is they just have such great awareness, and they're always communicating. They understood the down and distance. They knew exactly what they needed to do to make the tackle to force the punt. That is so well done.
A famous writer once said, most men lead lives of quiet desperation. Here is a desperate move, going for it on 4th down. Turning it on! Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a 1st down.
Yeah, nice job by the running back. I like he understood that it was 4th and 1. I got to get that 1st down. And how about the blocking up front, creating a hole, creating some space. Not only did he get the 1st down, makes the big play, sparks this offense.
Gonna run it. It's Davidson. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
And after taking a big loss on that run, you just wonder if you're on offense, if you may abandon that part of your game and just start trying to throw it. You're down by a lot here in the 2nd half. 3rd quarter, you've got lots of time, but you need to throw the football to get back in this thing.
Back to throw. It's Applewhite. And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hip.
This is a situation here in the 3rd quarter this offense did not want to be in, facing a top 10 defense, one of the best units in the entire country. They didn't want to get down on the scoreboard like this and all of a sudden have to throw the football when the defense knew that was going to happen. The incompletion there is not a big surprise. This defense knows what's coming, and it's all because of the points right now.
And that is interception number 3 on the day. Not a lot of room on the return, but he'd already gotten the most important thing, the ball, and they have it at the 46. First snap of this drive will come from the 46. going to lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, and listen, the offense has had their way, and they've had so much success and so much production. But listen, at least the defense got a rep. You know, maybe this gets you a spark. Maybe this gets you some energy. Maybe we'll see a little bit more life from this defense.
Yeah, they may not win the game, but I think this defensive coaching staff at this point, based on how this game has gone, they're just trying to find things to build off of. And maybe that's something they can point to as they get ready for their next opponent, of things they did right and things that they got to do more consistently moving forward.
Dances away to buy time. Finds a man on the right. Lots of green grass as he gets it to the 31.
A lot of smiles right now on this offense. They've got a big lead, and they're just having fun out there. They're still throwing the football. These receivers are still getting open. Pass protection is still great. This quarterback's thinking to himself, man, I'm going to be padding my stats here in the second half of this game because everything we're dialing up is working.
Offense picking up steam. 1st and 10 from the 31. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3.
You know, you talk so much about QBs, right? Having to make really good decisions. There's a great example. He didn't see anybody open downfield. He didn't hesitate for 1 second. He put his head down, and he took off and went running and generated an explosive play for the offense.
Pressure coming. Can't make the connection, and the defense putting on the heat and forcing the incompletion.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They have been trying all game long different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy, and that's why the ball falls incomplete.
Another incompletion on 3rd down.
Yeah, and 3rd and short, they choose not to run, throw the football, and I think a lot of that has to do with they know they're in field goal range. They can take the 3 points on the board.
The Yellow Jackets will try to convert on 4th down. Looks as if he's going to run it. How about that defense rising up and stopping him short on 4th down?
And he calls his own number, tries to go get the 1st down, but he just couldn't get to it. Nice job by the defense, locking in, not letting him get that extra couple yards that he needed to get the big 1st down.
Looking for a huge play. Catch inside the 25. He flips his field in an instant, and he's got him set up at the 20.
And how about the big strike down the field? I love when offenses take shots down the field, try to make big plays. Now they're set up in the red zone.
After that huge play, let's see if they can punctuate it. It's 1st and 10 from the 20. From the red zone, he's going to throw it. Under fire. Just tried to drop a little floater in there, and it's incomplete.
There's nothing better than being a defensive lineman and a defense period that pressure the quarterback, that gets hits on him, that make him feel uncomfortable, especially when you come into their building and you get everybody really, really quiet. That's a great feeling.
He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line, and a big red zone opportunity here. Guys, we've reached the end of the quarter, and Georgia Tech has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. One more period to go, and we'll see just how much fight they've got left in them. After swapping ends of the field, that gave them a little time to figure out how they'll open the final period here on 3rd down. Looking to throw, it's Applewhite. Catch in the middle, it's Riley. He'll be stopped just short of the end zone, but they'll have it 1st and goal.
The offense has struggled. They're not going to win this game, but trust me, this coaching staff is still trying to find things to build off of for next week. And after an explosive play like that, maybe they can generate just a little bit of momentum and gain a little bit of confidence that they can keep coaching up heading into their next game.
They'll dial up the run on 1st and goal. There was just nowhere to cut back. Great job by the defense, and he'll have to take the loss.
They just haven't been able to get much going in this game. The defense has definitely had their number, and here they are late. You're asking yourself, why are they still running the football, trailing this much late in the game? But that's basically a microcosm of how this game has gone.
And they will score. ready to try the point after. Just got a little casual with it and blew the extra point. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Guys, every game in CUSA is so very critical. How about this one today? The home team has the lead right now, but this crowd is restless. They just haven't been able to separate themselves yet today. The Miners have been in games like these. Feels like they had a couple of nail-biters just last year. Time now to see what they learn. They're up by 7 over UTEP. Two fan bases with very different emotions in CUSA as we send it back to you.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Got the first down, looking for more. He'll be stopped at the 27, but picks up 10 on that one.
It's a point in the game, I think, as a coaching staff where you really challenge your offensive line to go win the football game, right? We've got to lead late. We're going to run the football. And the defense and everybody in the stadium knows that's what's going to happen. Can we run the ball down their throats and impose our will? That's what this offense right now is trying to do.
And I know you can play these late-game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
All the way out to the 43-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds, and this offense is on the move. And the Yellow Jackets will have it 1st and 10.
You know what's interesting? At this point of the game, with the lead in the 4th quarter, the defense is expecting them to run the ball. And because they're putting so many guys close to the line of scrimmage, they're taking advantage, throwing it 2 straight completions now back-to-back. And the defense down in this game, they just can't do anything to stop this offense at this point, David. Right now, they know they're going to be trying to run the football and try and ice the game, but there's nothing at this point it seems they can do.
Yeah, and it's frustrating. I got to sell out, man. I got to bring as many guys to the line of scrimmage as I can. I got to find a way to get this ball back to my offense. The clock is not my friend, and them running the football is only going to run this thing out quicker. I got to find a way to make something happen, strip the football, do something.
Quarterback doing what he does best. He can move. Catch in the middle. It's Powell. They've got it inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. It's 1st down.
How about this offense, man? You got to love it. Late in the 4th quarter, you have the lead. They don't get conservative. Staying balanced. Run. Back it up with a pass. Getting the 1st down. A few more 1st downs, and you can walk out of here with a W.
To throw. It's Grimes. And the defense gets home and makes a play at the 37-yard line. The Yellow Jackets will hustle to the line.
Well, what a great job by the defense and phenomenal effort chasing.
And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again.
And this quarterback, man, you've seen him have some success, so you know he'll take off and run. The defense was ready, man. Nice job. This second half, this is a critical part of it. Don't let him beat you with his feet.
On target over the middle. What a play by this defense, and they stop him short. It'll be 4th down. He just keeps piling up numbers with completion after completion in this standout performance.
Man, I think some people might say late in the game, you got the win, everything's in hand, be a little bit conservative, or you just say, I'm just going to keep doing me. And what I do with this offense is throw the football all over the yard, and I'm going to try to win me a big trophy at the end of the year.
They already have a comfortable lead, up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on 4th down. Corners right up on that line of scrimmage. On 4th down, going to the air. It's dropped, and oh, what a tough way to end this drive. The decision to go for it does not pan out.
This is so a Jesse Palmer. Exactly what he would do. Continue to put the foot on the accelerator, try to rub it in. Can't win by enough. Gotta look good in the polls. This is your kind of offense, Palmer.
Using his legs, it's Davidson. Tripped up at the 25 after picking up 4.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Dropping back, it's Applewhite. Sends it downfield. And they wanted it all on that incomplete pass. Instead, they're looking at 3rd down.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback in this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You got to give this defense a ton of credit. They've done a great job in coverage. They've been breaking on passes. They've had their number, and that's why they're leading by as much as they are.
Finds his man. It's Riley. He's going to have enough to pick up the first down as they stop him at the 33-yard line. That is just a perfect example of not deciding before the snap where you have to go with the ball.
Yeah, because that will get you in trouble. You can tell right away he wants to get the ball to his primary. He's covered. He comes off of him, does a nice job being patient, taking his time, hitting the drag route, getting the first down.
And this set of downs gets started from the 33, 1st and 10. Looking to throw on first down. They get to him as he throws.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback in this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops. Just not in sync, and that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Gonna look downfield again. That's caught. It's McCoy. Found a little bit of room to operate, but he'll be stopped just short of the first down. And the Seminoles come to the ball trying to pick up this 3rd and short. Scanning the field, it's Applewhite. And this is going to be incomplete on 3rd down.
And it's going to be hard for this offense, man. They've struggled to pass the football down the field, to make these explosive plays, and now huge deficit. Got to make them. Got to find a way to push the ball down the field to create some explosive plays if you want a chance to get back in this football game.
He might want another play. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Makes a grab past the marker. Gets it to the 46-yard line. First down for this offense. He unleashed a bullet on that pass and converted the 4th down.
Gotta love it. Some people get conservative. Some people don't want to mess up. 4th down, you could tell. He wanted that window, and he threw it as hard as he could. Throws a strike to the wide receiver. Gets the big 4th down conversion.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Wants to go up top. And he dropped it. It looked for all the world like that would be a catch, and he just got too excited.
Well, the defense really stepped up in this game. They knew they had to slow down this passing attack. They knew they had some matchups they were going to have to win one-on-one. They've been able to do that, and as a result, they haven't allowed 200 passing yards in this game.
And they fail to hook up on 3rd down.
And we need more of this from this defense, man. They have let this guy have too much time to throw the football. They haven't gotten that jersey dirty yet, haven't sacked him. But this is just as good as a sack. Getting to him, hitting him, letting him feel the physicality of this game, and not letting him feel comfortable.
He's taking a deep shot. And it's incomplete. The long pass on 4th down is to no avail.
I think after failing on the 4th down, guys, you look at the scoreboard, you look at how much time is left. I think they're going to lose this football game. This coaching staff is going to have to dig deep and try to find ways to get this team better next time they take the field.
Georgia Tech has the ball back, and here comes the Yellow Jacket offense. What a feeling this has to be, David, in complete control and headed toward victory formation.
No stress, under a couple minutes left in the ball game. Well in hand. These are the ones, Jesse, you like to just run the clock, take a knee, whatever you want.
No doubt. They're going to love watching this game film, too. There's just so many positives to take away from this, and this is the kind of performance today that is really going to help this offense's confidence.
Man, this sophomore quarterback unleashed a cannon on that one. It'll be a 1st and 10 from the 29.
You know, as a coach, you have to love the progression your quarterback has made. After that nightmare of a performance a week ago, throwing 3 picks, he was able to...
Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32.
Listen, I love when my quarterback gets outside the pocket. I got an opportunity to make a huge play. But when it's not there, now I want him to make the simple play. Throw it away. Don't take the sack. Don't take the loss of yards plays.
Got away from trouble and got rid of it. Got a man. It's Key. He'll be out of bounds. They'll mark it at the 24. So an example of a tight end doing a little unheralded work to set up a much better third down situation.
And I like the QB here, Reese. I like the decision where I understand, let's get this football out, let's get some positive yards, and then get to third down, and we can still have a better situation now because we got rid of the football and took the yards that were there.
He's got enough for the first down, and that ought to do it. They ought to be able to run out the clock from here. Now on the move. He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in. They're wanting to pile up some extra points. He's got it down the middle. And that is how we will wrap this one up. They get the W, and with that being win number 6, looks as if they're going bowling, guys.
And that's a good moment for this squad, right? Like, you start every season, you have big goals. It usually starts with your conference championship and winning a national championship, maybe going to the playoffs. Everybody has different goals, but getting to a bowl is always sweet, and this team's eligible now.
I know the coaches are really happy about this, the AD and the fans, because they know what it means for the program, right? You're going to get those 15 extra practices at the end of the year to help develop young talent. Looking ahead to next season, but that's next season. There's still a lot of football left to go this year. Let's just see how good of a bowl game they can get to.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.